Well, I've been pretty pleased with the way the Tomatofest has gone this year. You can see the way it was all set up in my videos 50, 52 and 57, and although a lot of the technology around this greenhouse, the automatic watering system, the shading, has all been developed over a number of years, it's still very pleasing that it has worked, because you never know when there's going to be some complication. What I'm going to do now is show you a video of a bit of a wander round the greenhouse and some words on each of the tomatoes, and then I've got to make a difficult decision. It's a bit like one of these TV baking or cookery programs. I don't need this many plants. There were 14 because I wanted to experiment, but it's given us a huge number of tomatoes, and that we're having to give away. It's much more than we need. So what I want to do next year is keep one side here, 6 pots free for something else. I don't know what yet. And I'll keep the 6 on this side and the 2 behind me. So I'll keep 8 plants, but it does mean that by the end of this video I need to decide which 6 are not coming back next year. Now, on to a bit of description of them. Okay, well, this first one is a pink Brandywine. There's no actual fruits on it at the moment, but it was a beefsteak variety, and it was the earliest we had. What did you think of it?
I thought it was good. I thought it was good for making tomato salad, and I'd certainly have that again.
Yeah. I mean, we can't look at there's no red fruits because we've taken them off, and they need not to be left too long, I think we found. Here on another one is a similar sort of fruit, and that shows the problem we're having with these, where you're getting this kind of splitting if they're not harvested early enough, and you can get a bit of mould in the splits, and that's been a problem on all 3 of the
these, angle things.
Yeah, that's been a problem on all 3 of the beefsteaks. Here's another one, the next one next to it, Cherokee Purple. Again, we've had all the red fruits off it, but you can see other ones developing. What did you think of those? I mean,
well, they were good. They were good. I mean, any of the proper beefsteak ones were good.
this one here, which is Mortgage Lifter, there's some red fruits on that. So one red fruit on that. So any of those would be all right. Perhaps one, and perhaps we'd have I think Brandywine and one of the others, because you know, in pink Brandywine the early season is quite good. This one, purple Calabash, I think the shape of the tomatoes hasn't been all that helpful with this indentation. That one has over ripened, and we've got a bit of mould in there. Really, I mean,
yeah, I think that's interesting, but it's not very practical to use.
no, I think probably purple Calabash will give a miss next year. This next one here is I've kind of liked these green zebra.
Yeah.
They've grown very solidly. There's one there that's ripe. They turn a sort of orangey colour when they're ripe, and it's been quite productive, this plant. Nice fruits, no problems with them whatsoever, and it's quite an interesting sort of colour because they don't get beyond that colour. So I definitely have that again.
They're nice fruit for tomatoes for eating. Definitely, I'd have them again.
Yeah, yeah. This one here, Jersey Devil, they're supposed to produce, well, there's quite a long one in there that's coming on. But I mean, they've been relatively productive. We had some nice ones at the beginning, and the long shape means you can get a good sort of a good
Slicing tomato.
slices of them.
Yeah.
But I don't think they've been all that prolific. I can't remember a
There's
huge
quite a
number
few
of
now.
them. Yeah,
Quite a lot now.
maybe they're later in the season. We've got quite a few. This one, Arkansas Traveller, I think it looks great, and we produced a lot of nice looking ordinary tomatoes from that. Yeah, that's nice. You know, we'll possibly have that one again. This is this San Marzano, the one that had a blossom end rot, but that was fairly easily treatable. But and it's supposed to be one of the best or one of the most popular commercial tomatoes. But I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, that was good.
That was good too. This one, we're round these two are the determinants, which means they don't keep putting up. They're not going to produce any more fruit. They produced it all at once. But this is Principe Borghese, and that's produced a lot of nice medium-sized tomatoes. Admittedly, all at once. They're all on there now. But what do you think?
They're nice.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with those.
What do you think about the Snowberry? We've got sort of
They're
nice,
quite nice. There's
small
a different
yellow tomatoes.
yeah,
Are quite
they're quite
interesting.
nice. Changes a
Then there's Black Opal, which are a sort of cherry. I don't think we've had. They've got this slightly darker browny sort of colouring about them. I don't remember us having that many of them. Has that
well,
been?
there's quite a few there. No, I think they're quite nice. They're a bit they were quite a nice flavour.
These are interesting, aren't they? You've got, this is Blondkopfchen,
Yeah,
and they've
well,
got, it's a huge sort of bush full of very small, very nice tomatoes. They're very small. I don't know if you use them in some sort
I
of
think
cooking.
they're too fiddly. Not enough flesh to skin ratio to my thinking, but
Maybe.
I wouldn't.
We'll perhaps not do them. There's nothing wrong with them if that's what you
No.
want, but maybe we won't do those next year. And this last one, Ryzen Troub, which seems to have produced some quite nice little sort of smallish type fruit. In fact, there's a ton of them under here at the moment.
A bit muddly down here.
Would you have the Ryzen Troub again, or?
Yeah, that one's all right.
Okay, well, I hope that's given you a bit of a flavour, I was going to say, of those tomatoes. But which ones am I going to keep? Well, I think I'll go through the ones I'm not going to keep. With the beefsteak, we only need 2 plants. I'm definitely keeping the Brandywine because it's come in early, it's been a good tomato. But I'm also going to keep the mortgage lifter, and that was a fairly random choice between that and Cherokee Purple, but I don't need 3 beefsteak tomato plants. This purple Calabash, I'm not keeping for the reason described in the video. The fruits are a funny sort of shape, and they don't gain us anything that we don't get on other fruits. The next one I'm going to lose, and it's been quite good, is the San Marzano. That was the one, if you recall the previous videos, that had blossom root rot, blossom end rot. Which was easily cured with the addition of some calcium, but none of the others had it, although I treated them at the same time. And the yield's been okay, but I think if I've got to lose one, I'll lose that. The 2 determinants I'm keeping, Principe Borghese and cream sausage, because although the fruits have all come at once, they're still here and they're very, very, very good. The other 2, or the other 3 that are going, the black opal, that's a cherry tomato. Not a great yield, I don't think, on that one, but also it doesn't give us anything that, for example, the Snowberry doesn't, or the Principe Borghese. The Blondkopfchen, these are these ones with these great flurry of very small fruits. Nothing wrong with those. If you want small yellow fruits, they are absolutely brilliant. It's just we don't tend to use them in any sort of culinary sense. So I'm going to lose that one just because of that. But there's nothing wrong with it. And the final one, which again is quite a nice little cherry tomato, the Ryzen Troub. I did have a bit of problems germinating that. That was the least easy to germinate of all the plants. It came up smaller to begin with, so that may have just been unlucky. It may have just been this year, but if I've got to make an arbitrary decision, then that's the one that's going to go, and I'll keep all the others. And although comparing one tomato to another is a bit like comparing chalk and cheese, because they're different sizes, they're used for different things, they've got different characteristics, I think it wouldn't be right to not end with actually ranking them in my favourite order. So I'll go down from 4 to 1. In 4th place, I would say pink Brandywine. Great early season, or early fruiting. It's still going, obviously, now. Great early tomato. It's been beefsteak. The third one, I'm very impressed by this Arkansas Traveller, which has got conventional sized, tomato on it, quite prolific, and the plants been very good. In second place, I think I'd have cream sausage. I particularly like these long sliceable fruits and very interesting colour. And I think the winning tomato, if one can call it that, I would say would be a surprising one, this green zebra, an unusual coloured tomato, but kept very well, made a nice yield, very interesting looking, lovely taste. So my favourite tomato this year is a green zebra. Anyway, I hope you found something useful or interesting in this and the series of videos that have led up to it, and as ever, thank you very much for watching.